Clarity Act will make XRP, XLM, and XDC explode. Right now, the market is in peak fear, okay? If you go open CoinMarketCap, just type it in, coinmarketcap.com, and take a look at the top of CoinMarketCap. Let's do it right now, coinmarketcap.com. Look at the fear and greed index, okay? We're in extreme fear. Multi-billionaire investor Warren Buffett says, be greedy when others are fearful, okay? That means we're supposed to buy or start to buy. We don't have to buy our full bags. We DCA, dollar cost averaging into projects that we're bullish on when it's extreme fear.
Also, just before we go any further, this channel has a giveaway of 1 million Shiba tokens. To enter, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, like this video, and comment hashtag Shiba Inu. Good luck.
When nobody else wants to buy. If you take a look at this chart, from one of the best TA guys, even though I don't like how he hates on altcoins. I really don't like how he hates on altcoins. But Benjamin Cohen, one of the best TA guys, called the cycle very well with Bitcoin dominance. This is a chart showing retail interest from his Into the Cryptoverse website. And retail interest is literally at negative. It's already below this white line that you see, right? This orange line right here, it's just been going and falling off a cliff. There's no retail interest in the market. The people that are here are leaving. Nobody wants to be associated with crypto anymore. It feels like everything is over, right? But as an investor, if you're trading, crypto is all psychological, okay? If you're trading and you think, okay, now I should leave with everyone else. No, that's not what you do. You stick around when it's painful, when you're suffering, when your coins aren't going up, and you want to pull your hair out. You say to yourself, F it, I am buying, I am buying some altcoins. I'm buying altcoins. I don't care if there's not another alt season, I'm still buying altcoins when it's peak fear, okay? And then, if the market does recover, there's no guarantees that it does, but if it does, and then we get into extreme greed or extreme fear, that's when you take profits, right? That's what you do. So even if Bitcoin does fall to 45K or 40K, that's why I said you DCA'd in. You're not buying your entire bag in one go. You're probably buying once a week, once every 2 weeks, and you patiently trade the market. Be patient, right? And then when the market does turn around, you get a bull market. If that happens, if it happens, you get an alt season. If it happens, you were right. You invested an amount that you were willing to lose, and you received the reward. You received the payoff for that, right? And one of the catalysts I think that is going to spark, a bull run is the Clarity Act. I think it's going to be the new Fed chair in the summer. I think it's going to be the tariff checks, if those still happen. I'm not sure if they will, but that's one of them as well. And I think it's also going to be QE, where the Fed, when the new chair is elected, he's probably going to turn on the money printers and start adding liquidity to the market once again, right? Like we saw in the 2020 to 2021 cycle. When that takes place, that's when I think we find a bottom and we really start a good bull run with an altcoin season. Not like what we got this cycle. I'm telling you, like this cycle, if you didn't buy Solana memes, XRP or Sweet, you did not get a bull run. Solana memes, XRP, Sweet, that's it. That's the only coins that went up. None of the other altcoins went up this cycle, man. Very sad. But I think the next cycle, you'll get an alt season, right? So the Clarity Act, I'm sure a lot of you already know it. I don't have to break it down because I know other content creators spoke about it. But this is an update just under a day ago from SEC Chair Paul Atkins. The U.S. stands as the crypto capital of the world with transparency and innovation leading the way. As Congress works to pass the Clarity Act, Chairman Selig and I will provide a bridge toward this landmark legislation, ensuring clarity and certainty for innovators and investors, right? So let's take a look at this video.
Token taxonomy. We put forward frameworks on this in the House. I know the SEC is engaged in this. There's obviously overlap with the CFTC. Can you provide clarity as to where you are on that work?
Yes, so I've outlined how I believe that the two agencies will march ahead to bring clarity to this area. It'll be consonant with what's in the Clarity Act that you all passed here in the House, and hopefully what will come out of the joint work that you're doing with the Senate. So, we will carry that forward, and basically it'll help give certainty as to where the jurisdiction of the two agencies are. And if we marry that with I like to talk about a super app where we'll have recognition of substituted compliance between the two agencies, I think that'll be the best.
Awesome stuff, right? So they're getting closer to finalizing this. And like I said, I think this is one of the catalysts that will restore bullish momentum to the market, right? From Wendy O, Paul Atkins says the SEC is preparing token taxonomy guidance tied to the Clarity Act and reaffirmed that the U.S. aims to lead as the global crypto capital through clear rules and innovation. And like I stated, projects like XRP, XLM, XDC, ISO compliant projects, XRP, one of the altcoins that did go up this cycle, it was, one of the XRP army, man. You guys are freaking fantastic, okay? You guys do not play around. You guys don't mess around, man. From 52 cents to $3.27 and a high of $3.42. And if you bought the low, at 30 cents in 2022, you was able to DCA that low. That was a 10x move for you in a few years, right? Which is fantastic, right? It's a very fantastic move, but this isn't typically what we see in the markets. We normally see moves that are way much more expansive, right? And this is why I say the next cycle with actual liquidity. Remember, this cycle had high interest rates, no liquidity whatsoever, no retail interest whatsoever, just the same people from the 2021 cycle exchanging hands. No new money, no new liquidity. So that's why I think the next cycle is going to provide the alt season that a lot of people are looking for. I could be wrong, but that's what I think will happen with all the catalysts. And again, one of the catalysts being the Clarity Act. So XRP at 135 right now, XLM at just under 16 cents, XDC 6 cents. Again, all of them are finding their floors. You could basically say all three charts look the same, right? All three charts had like a move in the cycle. XRP, like I said, made one of the bigger moves, a 10x move. In a few years, nothing to scoff at. XLM made like a 5x move from the low. XDC did like what? Like a 7x from the low because it's more undervalued, right? So these are the projects as far as altcoins go. These are great bets. These are great bets for, if you have a bigger portfolio, you want to size into projects that have, long-term vision and have long-term success. A project that lets its work speak. The team deserves more recognition for this consistency. Great stuff, right? XRP stands out as the most regulated digital asset globally. Compliance clearances are secured across jurisdictions. That expanding compliance footprint continues to strengthen XRP's positioning for cross-border payments and institutional use cases. Regulatory alignment matters when financial access is determined. For XLM is in a great range for accumulation right here. As you can see, it's about to come back down to the previous low, or just a bit above the previous low. And again, great time to accumulate. XRP and XLM hand in hand, all the money, everyone will be using XRP and XLM. While most people are still hunting the next 100x meme coin, these two networks are becoming the actual infrastructure of the future economy. By the time the massive prices start reflecting this reality, most will already be too late. These tokens will gain enormous value. And I 100% agree with that, right? When you talk about XRP, and the community of XRP and how powerful the project is, there's always, mentions of XLM, HBAR, QNT's there as well, Algorand, XDC, right? So those are the type of projects that there's a group of investors, or there's like I would say like just a a number of people from the Web2 space that see these projects as the ones that replace the previous financial system. They see these projects as the ones that will create that global reset we see in the banking system. Because right now the big banks are pushing back against the Clarity Act. Why? Because it would disrupt, their entire monopoly. It would disrupt that. So they don't want that to be moved forward. Crypto replacing the banking system, they don't want that. They don't. So these are the type of projects that you take a bet on for when that does take place, because I think crypto is the future. I'm not stock spaces, even though stocks are going parabolic right now. I'm not precious metal spaces, even though gold and silver had a massive run. My name on the channel is Crypto Spaces. So I believe in this space. I believe in this industry. And I'm not leaving this industry. So from Tokenizer, the numbers may not show it yet, but XDC is one of the most best positioned enterprise DLTs for institutional RWAs. Let's take a look at their wheelhouse. Arcus, institutional funds, real estate, Vert, 1 billion in trade receivables across Brazil. That's bullish. Comtech, Dubai, approved tokenized gold. What? YieldTech, securitized SEC compliant US Treasury. Great stuff. Laser Digital, Kai, tokenized institutional fund. Mercado, Bitcoin, institutional private credit funds, plug and play, partner for RWA accelerator incubators. AIMA, policy for alternative internet investments and assets. These are real world entities tokenizing actual financial instruments onto XDC. That's so bullish. This is why you got to do your research, man. Wow. This is the type of projects that I'm talking about. This is real utility, real value, not a pump and dump coin, not something that's here today, gone tomorrow. That, when you start, making, gains accordingly, or if this is your first time investing, these are the type of projects you must have at least a percentage of in your portfolio. You have a percentage, and people don't like meme coins and stuff like that, but you have a percentage for the high risk trades, then you have a percentage of your portfolio for the long-term trades, right? And obviously Bitcoin in the portfolio as well, and maybe Ethereum, right? It's not just simply tokenizing assets for the sake of TVL, but XDC is bringing real-world trade finance as assets along with capital markets on chain. This is real industry advancement. That is very bullish. Look at all the partners and companies that XDC is working with to institutionalize, the RWA and the, previous asset classes. That is very amazing to see. 1 billion plus transactions, 100 million blocks, and growing users. XDC's out here really building and not just talking, right? So these three projects, like I said, I think will benefit a ton from the Clarity Act, XRP, XLM, and XDC. And I think, it's a good time to start to dollar cost average into these projects. Obviously, pick the altcoin of your choice, right? It's up to you to do your own research. We're all adults here. And it's up to you to make those decisions based on your own research. And clearly, like I say, never invest more than you're willing to lose, guys, because crypto is very uncertain and nothing is guaranteed. But again, if you're going to be buying crypto, buying when the market is at peak fear and the fear and greed index is at levels that we haven't seen since 2019, I think now is a good time to start. If you have been sidelined and you have done well in 2024 and 2023, now's a good time to start your DCA, right? So, as always, none of this is financial advice. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Join my Discord. Link to that is in the description. And subscribe to the Clips channel to support the main channel further by supporting those short form videos. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one.